The Amityville Horror is one of the most famous and controversial cases of alleged paranormal activity in the United States. It revolves around a house located at 112 Ocean Avenue in Amityville, New York. The DeFeo murders. The story begins on the night of November 13, 1974, when 23-year-old Ronald DeFeo Jr. murdered 6 members of his family while they were asleep in their beds. DeFeo claimed he was influenced by voices in the house that compelled him to commit the grisly murders. He was later arrested and sentenced to life in prison. The Lutz family. A little over a year later, in December 1975, George and Kathy Lutz, along with their 3 children, moved into the same house. They were aware of the house's dark history, but believed they could overcome it. They purchased the house at a significantly reduced price due to its notoriety. Terrifying paranormal activity. Soon after moving in, the Lutz family began experiencing a series of terrifying paranormal events. These included strange odors, cold spots, unexplained noises, and swarms of flies in the middle of winter. George Lutz claimed to have seen red eyes glowing at night, and even levitated off his bed. Kathy Lutz reported vivid nightmares involving the house. The escape. After 28 days of living in the house, the Lutz family could no longer endure the intense paranormal activity. They left the house in the middle of the night, leaving behind their belongings. They sought the help of paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, who conducted an initial investigation and deemed the house to be haunted. The book and movie. Jay Anson's 1977 book, The Amityville Horror, recounted the Lutz family's experiences, and it became a bestseller. In 1979, it was adapted into a film that further popularized the story. Controversy and skepticism. The Amityville Horror has been met with significant skepticism. Some believe the Lutz family fabricated their experiences for financial gain, while others think that the traumatic events of the DeFeo murders may have influenced their perception. The house's subsequent owners have reported no unusual activity. Ongoing intrigue. Despite the controversy and skepticism, the Amityville house remains a point of interest for paranormal enthusiasts, and the story continues to captivate those interested in the supernatural. Whether you believe in the paranormal or not, the Amityville Horror is an enduring and chilling tale that has left a lasting mark on popular culture. The events surrounding the house at 112 Ocean Avenue remain a subject of debate and fascination to this day. The entity haunting remains one of the most perplexing and controversial cases of alleged paranormal activity, with a mixture of believers and skeptics. Whether the events were genuine paranormal experiences or a product of psychological distress, the story of Doris Bither and her encounters with malevolent entities continues to fascinate and unsettle those who delve into its mysteries. Doris Bither. The story centers around Doris Bither, a mother of 4 who claimed to have been tormented by malevolent entities in her home. Doris was known to have a troubled past, and her life had been marked by hardships and personal challenges. Paranormal activity. Doris and her children reported experiencing a wide range of paranormal phenomena in their small rented home. These included objects moving on their own, unexplained cold spots, strange voices, and eerie apparitions. One of the most disturbing aspects was the claim that Doris was being physically and sexually assaulted by invisible forces. Witness accounts. Several witnesses, including neighbors and a family friend, reported witnessing some of these strange occurrences firsthand. They corroborated claims of objects levitating and seeing Doris physically attacked by unseen entities. Paranormal investigation. The Bither case attracted the attention of paranormal investigators, including Dr. Barry Taff and Carrie Gaynor, who conducted a series of investigations at the house. During these investigations, they documented strange anomalies, including unexplained lights and temperature fluctuations. The hypotheses. Dr. Barry Taff and his team proposed that Doris Bither may have been the focal point of intense poltergeist activity, potentially caused or amplified by her emotional distress. This theory suggested that her energy or psychic state could have manifested the paranormal phenomena. Controversy and skepticism. The entity case is highly controversial and has been met with skepticism by some researchers and critics. They argue that the events may have been exaggerated or entirely fabricated for attention or financial gain. Legacy. The entity case was the basis for the 1982 horror film, The Entity, starring Barbara Hershey, which further popularized the story. It remains a subject of debate and intrigue in paranormal circles. The Sallie House is a famous and eerie haunted house located in Atchison, Kansas. The house is known for its long history of reported paranormal activity and hauntings. History of the house. The Sallie House, originally built in the 1800s, gained its name from the belief that a young girl named Sallie had once lived there. While the existence of a young girl named Sallie in the house's history remains unclear, this name has been attached to the property for decades. The Pickmans experience. In the early 1990s, Tony and Deborah Pickman moved into the Sallie House with their young son. Soon after moving in, they began to experience a series of unsettling and unexplained paranormal occurrences. These included objects moving on their own, strange noises, and eerie apparitions. The legend of Sallie. The Pickmans claimed that the paranormal activity often centered around a young girl they believed to be Sallie. They described her as a playful spirit who interacted with their son. However, the interactions quickly turned more menacing, with scratches appearing on the boy's body. Paranormal investigations. The Pickmans invited paranormal investigators and psychic mediums to the house to document the phenomena. These investigations produced audio and video recordings capturing mysterious noises and strange occurrences, which further fueled the legend of the Sallie House. Other reported phenomena. Besides the alleged presence of Sallie, other reported phenomena at the house included cold spots, objects levitating or being thrown, and shadowy figures appearing in photographs and videos. Controversy and skepticism. As with many haunted house stories, the Sallie House has its share of skeptics who doubt the authenticity of the reported phenomena. Some have suggested that the Pickmans may have fabricated the events for attention, or that the phenomena could be attributed to more mundane causes. Current status. The Sallie House continues to be a subject of interest for paranormal enthusiasts and has been featured in documentaries, television shows, and books. It has also been investigated by various paranormal research groups. The Sallie House remains a prominent example of a haunted house legend, with believers and skeptics debating its authenticity, whether the paranormal activity experienced by the Pickmans was genuine or a result of other factors. The house's reputation as a hub of eerie phenomena endures. The Annabelle Doll is a well-known and eerie case of a supposedly haunted doll that has been associated with paranormal occurrences. The story of Annabelle has gained notoriety and has been featured in books, films, and paranormal investigations. The origins. The story of Annabelle begins in the early 1970s when a young nurse received the doll as a gift from her mother. The doll was a vintage Raggedy Ann doll, and it initially seemed harmless and innocent. Strange happenings. Soon after receiving the doll, the nurse and her roommate began to notice strange and unsettling occurrences. These included the doll seemingly changing positions on its own, appearing in different rooms, and leaving handwritten notes with messages like "Help us" in childlike handwriting. Seeking help. Alarmed by these paranormal events, the nurse and her roommate sought the assistance of a medium. The medium conducted a seance and claimed that the doll was inhabited by the spirit of a young girl named Annabelle Higgins, who had died in the area. They were told that Annabelle just wanted to be loved and accepted. The Warrens' involvement. After the medium's intervention, the paranormal activity escalated, and the women contacted renowned paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren, for assistance. The Warrens determined that the doll was not possessed by a child spirit, but rather by a malevolent entity seeking to manipulate and harm the women. The Warrens' warning. The Warrens cautioned that the doll should not be tampered with or mocked in any way, as it was believed to have the potential to bring misfortune or harm to those who disrespected it. Cinematic adaptations. The story of the Annabelle doll has been adapted into a series of horror films, beginning with The Conjuring, 2013, and followed by Annabelle, 2014, Annabelle, Creation, 2017, and Annabelle, Creation, 2017, and Annabelle Comes Home, 2019. Controversy and skepticism. As with many paranormal stories, there are skeptics who doubt the authenticity of the Annabelle doll's supposed paranormal abilities. Some suggest that the entire story may have been fabricated or exaggerated. The Annabelle doll remains an iconic and unsettling symbol of paranormal phenomena and has left a lasting impact on popular culture, whether the doll is genuinely haunted or a product of folklore and imagination. Its eerie legend continues to captivate and terrify those who encounter it. The Bell Witch haunting is a well-documented and legendary case of paranormal activity and malevolent haunting that took place in the early 19th century in Robertson County, Tennessee. This haunting is often considered one of the most famous in American folklore. Here's a detailed explanation of the Bell Witch haunting. The Bell family. The story revolves around the Bell family, primarily John Bell Soar, his wife Lucy, and their children. The Bells were a respected family in the community and lived on a farm in what is now Adams, Tennessee. The haunting begins. 1817. The haunting began with strange noises, including unexplained knocks, rapping sounds, and the sound of chains being dragged. The disturbances initially targeted John Bell, and he reported being physically attacked by unseen forces. The entity's voice. One of the most notorious aspects of the Bell Witch haunting was the entity's ability to communicate. It claimed to be the spirit of a deceased neighbor named Kate Batts, but it also referred to itself as the Bell Witch. The entity could mimic human voices and engaged in conversations with the family. Malevolence and torment. Over time, the entity's behavior became increasingly malevolent. It targeted not only John Bell, but also other family members. It made vile and disturbing predictions about John's health and death, often tormenting him with various ailments. Visitors and witnesses. The haunting attracted the attention of neighbors and visitors who came to the Bell farm to witness the strange phenomena. Many reported experiencing the entity's pranks and malicious behavior. The Bell Witch's exorcism. In an attempt to rid their home of the entity, the Bell family sought the help of various individuals, including local clergy. A well-known exorcist, Reverend Joshua Gardner, conducted an exorcism in the home, but claimed to have been unsuccessful. John Bell's death, 1820. The haunting persisted for several years, during which John Bell Soar grew increasingly ill. He died in December 1820 under mysterious circumstances, with the entity taking credit for his death. The entity's departure. After John Bell's death, the entity announced that it would leave but return in 7 years. True to its word, the entity did return briefly in 1828, before departing once and for all. Legacy. The Bell Witch haunting has left a lasting legacy in American folklore. Numerous books, articles, and documentaries have been produced about the case, and it continues to be a subject of fascination and debate among paranormal enthusiasts. The Bell Witch haunting remains one of the most enduring and chilling accounts of a malevolent haunting in American history. Whether one believes in the supernatural or not, the story of the Bell Witch has left an indelible mark on the folklore and history of Tennessee and the United States.